Greetings and welcome to another fantastic episode of the AI Show. I'm pretty excited to be here. My name is Seth Juarez, and you are coming live into my beautiful art gallery here that I've got behind me. All right, where's everybody from today? We've got our good friend Jenny Stew, number 7. Howdy doodle. It's good to have you here. Ivana is here. She's awesome. She makes real things, right? I make demoware, which is not the same, but similar. It's true. Who else we got over here? Let me take a look here. Jose Silva. Hello, my friend. Christopher Cotton. Howdy doodle. Jose Silva do Brasil. Muito obrigado. That's my garbage Portuguese for y'all. Where's everybody from? Tell me, put in the chat wherever you're watching. By the way, we're pushing this live to Learn TV and the other places. My Twitch channel. I'm new to data science and ML, excited to learn more. If you heard a little ring ring, that's because somebody's saying something. Hello from Canada, Learn TV, Robert McDonald. Thank you for watching on Learn TV. By the way, you may not know this, but I actually wrote the backend to Learn TV, the production backend. I should show it when they deprecate it, which they will soon. I should show you how it works. It's pretty cool. India, ML backend. I need to get a pair of pants that on the butt I have sewn on there, ML backend. Would anyone wear those? Should I get a line? You know how they have those cool pants that say stuff on the bum? We should just put ML backend there. You know? I'd wear it. From Yemen, Yusuf Alatar, welcome, my friend. Oh man, you wrote it in Arabic. I started to learn Arabic. I don't know if I told you this story, but I had a friend from Senegal when I lived in southern Spain teach me Arabic. They laughed at me the whole time. It was hilarious. By the way, we should really start this clothing line. I should be a clothier. ML backend. And then maybe hats that say front end, ML front end. And then on the shirt, full stack, ML. I'm checking out your repo on the GitHub right now. Good. Keep us honest, Robert. That's on Learn TV. Yeah. Bling bling. You make sounds when you come on Learn TV. By the way, it's aka.ms/Learn TV. I don't know. I'd love to hear your experience about that. If you think it's better or worse. All right. Sharafuddin, how do I use PyTorch standalone without using Azure in my .NET 5 Blazor application? Wow. That's a fantastic question. We're going to be doing a little bit of that hopefully today. I don't know how far we'll get. We're going to be wearing our hats today because we're going to be doing front end. I guess I should share my screen. Show you. You know, we got to use this tool every time because we spent good money on it. So we're going to do it. Today, I am pretty excited. We're going to be talking about, number 1, PyTorch Enterprise. Enterprise with Alon Bochman. Now, here's the thing. He's actually on vacation. And so I pre-taped this, but I can answer questions. He might even be here, maybe. Better not be, because we take vacation seriously. I'm trying to log into Teams here. We take vacation seriously. So I hope he's not here. And then number two, we're going to start to have to write the front end of our Rochambeau project because we made the ML model. I'm happy to go through it so we can take a look at that. But yes, that's what we're going to do today. Front end biz. And I decided, you'll have to tell me if you think this is good, right? This is a good idea. But we're going to do it all in React. I feel like it's not only a framework, but it's telling us what to do. Like, you need to react. Anytime we say react, we got to play this. We got to play this sound effect. If you're wondering, that was me reacting. Let's get our background music here going. That was me reacting because today we are going to be working on our front end React app, but I'm going to put a 2A here. Maybe look at mono repos, repo projects in VS Code. Right? This is horrible writing. Like I'm not phoning it in today, friends. So thank you for the nice action sound. Yeah, it indeed. There is some PyTorch.net things. Look, here's the dealio. People are asking about Blazor. I mean, I could do Blazor. I don't know. Specifically with running Onyx models on the client side. I don't know, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We got to pay the bills here today. We're going to start with this goodness. And then of course, we're going to get into React. Is there a lot of .NET devs here? I haven't done .NET in a while. I used to look. I wrote a machine learning library in 2008 when machine learning wasn't like there was no blockchain or anything like that back then, or machine learning was like, what are you talking? The first talk I ever gave was at Code Stock in Tennessee. It was on machine learning. It was 2 90-minute sessions, and I remember the people that came when they left. They were like, what is this? And back then there wasn't things like React and other accoutrements for this. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. So let's start first. There is a basketball Blazor sample project. Were you not at DevX from Sarosh? I don't know. I don't know. So there you have it. That's what we're going to be doing today. Let's start first with Alon Bochman and PyTorch Enterprise. By the way, let me go back to this so you can see me. PyTorch Enterprise. I'd love your questions. Let's get them queued up. It's pretty cool when I talk to him. I really didn't edit it. Really. I just cut the part out where I'm like giving him instructions and stuff. But let's take a look. PyTorch Enterprise. It's some goodness. I want to miss this episode of the AI show where Alon Bochman talks all about PyTorch Enterprise on Microsoft Azure. Make sure you tune in. Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI show where we're talking about PyTorch Enterprise on Azure, on Microsoft Azure. I'm excited to have here Alon Bochman. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Alon.
Hi, Seth. It's great to be here. My name is Alon Bochman. I'm new at Microsoft as of January this year. I spent my career in software and financial services. Used to be a hedge fund manager as well. And one of my earliest partners in business came from Microsoft Consulting. So really thrilled to be here at the company and here on your show.
Fantastic. All right, so let's start first with PyTorch. For those that don't know what PyTorch is, can you give us a little bit of a recap, elevator pitch, so to speak?
Sure. PyTorch is a deep learning framework. So you've probably heard about deep learning, as have your viewers. And deep learning is it's a really exciting technology where you can create some magic moments for users learning from images, texts, and audio, all sorts of data. And it's really a foundational technology for artificial intelligence. A lot of people use them interchangeably.
So Microsoft has been doing a lot with PyTorch for a while. Can you describe some of those efforts currently?
Absolutely. It's been a really exciting space to be in, Seth. So we've been working with PyTorch, and we've delivered a couple of tools to help the PyTorch community. One of them is delivering PyTorch on Windows. It used to be just on Linux. Now it's available on Windows. One of them is called PyTorch Profiler, which we're super excited about. That just got released a couple of months ago, and it lets you step through code and figure out some inefficiencies and squeeze out some extra performance from your hardware. And lastly, we have a special program to announce.
That's cool. And for those that don't know, in my group, we've also written some of the documentation that you'll find on pytorch.org for something called Learn the Basics. And we're coming out with something called PyTorch Fundamentals Learning Path on Microsoft Learn, which is pretty cool. So now let's dive into the actual topic, which is PyTorch Enterprise on Microsoft Azure. Did we create like a secret fork of PyTorch? Is this what this is? Tell us what this is.
No secret fork, Seth. PyTorch Enterprise is PyTorch. It's the open source version of PyTorch. But what we've done is we've structured a program around it to support enterprise users and make it even easier to go into production at scale with PyTorch workloads. It's been a brainchild of Microsoft and PyTorch. We've been working on it together for quite some time, and we're super excited to unveil it here at Build.
So the collaboration that we have between PyTorch and Microsoft, can you tell us what it entails? What are we getting with this new PyTorch Enterprise on Azure?
Okay, so it's essentially three things. It is support, it is testing, and it's integration. So on the support side, what we are offering with this program is essentially Microsoft will support core open source PyTorch code, as well as a couple of libraries that depend on it. And that support is going to be available to all Microsoft enterprise customers that have the enterprise support agreement. And the important part of that, Seth, is that those customers are going to be able to get prioritized hotfixes. So, for example, if you're running a workload with PyTorch, it's at scale, there's a lot of resources involved. You may not want to upgrade to the latest version of PyTorch every night. That's going to be quite a bit of investment. What you may want to do is you may want to just stick with one stable version, but that stable version might have a bug, might have a problem that you discover or somebody else discovers. Maybe it's a security issue, maybe it's a memory leak, what have you. And so what you really want is to just patch that single problem without overhauling the entire installation. And that is what this program offers. So we will actually work with you. We will reproduce the problem. We'll troubleshoot with you. We will actually create the fix and we'll submit it to PyTorch. At that point, they will integrate it into a special long-term support version so that you can keep running as you were. You can get the hotfix. You don't have to kind of swap out the tires on the car.
That's awesome because I mean, with open source stuff, sometimes you run into things, and you may be at the mercy of like maintainers, which have jobs and lives and other things. You mentioned testing. What does that mean?
So open source is great because you get the latest and greatest innovation for free at your fingertips. So the price is right. But as we all know, open source doesn't work 100% all the time. So the price of all that innovation is, sometimes unexpected things happen. And enterprise software is usually a little bit different from that, right? If you pay for enterprise software, there's usually a team that's dedicated to, going through a set of tests, a rigorous battery of tests, and that gives you some peace of mind as you install the software, especially when you go to production. So what PyTorch Enterprise does is we're trying to kind of get the best of both those worlds. You'll get the open source software. It's the same open source software that everybody else has, but you'll also get a battery of tests from Microsoft. And there's two kinds of testing that we're doing. One is there's continuous integration testing, which is a battery of tests that we will run every time that there's a pull request from GitHub that goes into pytorch.org. That means anytime anybody writes a contribution to PyTorch, that contribution is going to run through our series of tests to make sure that it's completely compatible. And the second is a set of nightly tests. So we're actually going to put each release of PyTorch through its paces with realistic workloads from Microsoft. So this is not going to be a simple unit test that says, did I get an okay or did I get a fail code on this little piece of code? This is actually like a workflow. It might be from Bing, it might be from Office. It's going to be at scale, and it's going to run frequently. And the point of all that testing, Seth, is that every release of PyTorch is going to come with its kind of health check card. Think of it like a vaccination card, right? So you will know before you upgrade, you will know whether the version that you're upgrading to is performing as well as your version, because you'll see the test for yours and you'll see the test for the new one. You'll have that much more peace of mind or confidence to make that upgrade or not.
That's really cool. I mean, the safety in that, knowing that the next version won't break your previous version's code, and if it does, that you'll know is amazing. The last thing you mentioned was Azure integration. What does that look like?
Well, basically, that's the easiest piece. What it means is that we've worked with teams throughout Azure to make sure that anywhere that you go in Azure, you will get the right version of the software and the right stack to be able to use PyTorch Enterprise. So basically, like we've done all the legwork so that you don't have to, and it just makes for a nice and easy experience for customers.
This is really cool. For those that are watching that want to get involved, how does someone sign up, so to speak, for PyTorch Enterprise on Microsoft Azure?
That's the best part, Seth. So there's actually no extra charge for this service, which is, I think it's pretty amazing. It's a lot of value and a large investment. It's completely free to existing customers of both Premier support and unified support. So if you're already on those contracts, you literally don't have to pay anything else. You don't have to sign another form. You just can open a ticket and it'll get routed to our set of PyTorch experts right in Azure. We'll start working with you. If you're not yet on those support contracts, we hope that you'll consider them, but there's no other requirement.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add to this? By the way, I'll put a link up for those that want to learn more. Anything else you want to add, my friend?
Yeah, there's just one thing. As we've been developing this program, we've had a chance to preview it with a couple of our partners and a couple of our customers, and the result has been just amazing. People are so excited that they're going to get the support. This is not support that you can buy for love or money, anywhere else.
Right.
It's only available on Azure, and so we've heard really positive reactions from NVIDIA, from Nuance, and from Crayon. Crayon is an IT consulting shop. NVIDIA is really excited that people are spending a lot of money on their hardware, and if there's the slightest problem that's reducing the efficiency of the workload, then customers get upset. So the fact that Microsoft is going to stand behind this really kind of foundational layer of the code is means that people will be able to get the most out of the hardware. NVIDIA is pretty happy about that. Nuance has an application in health tech, which relies on a very kind of real-time transcription. So it's very, very important that the model execute fast. And again, it's an astounding scale. So the fact that that we will be there to kind of help them through any issues that might come up is a real kind of risk reduction for them. And it's just great to hear that kind of feedback from customers.
Well, Alon, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and thank you so much for watching. We've been learning all about PyTorch Enterprise on Microsoft Azure. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. All right, there you go. Let me turn the music up again. Let's get to your questions. Hopefully that was interesting for y'all. Great questions coming in. Let's start with Jose Silva. PyTorch is a deep learning framework. What is Keras? Keras is also a deep learning framework that's built on top of TensorFlow. But nowadays, TensorFlow and Keras seem to be kind of merging a little bit. I mean, I don't know what hand signals to do here. They're merging. Great question. Question number 2, is TorchNet supported in PyTorch Enterprise? TorchNet comes from the C# stack. That is an open source framework that is not built by PyTorch. I think this support agreement is primarily for PyTorch that the PyTorch org puts out. Great question. Let's see. Here's a question from Sharafuddin. Today I built one small application in Blazor with MudBlazor UI. It's a lot easier without using any CSS and JavaScript. I want to build AI-enabled form actions throughout the application. Now, here's the thing with that. Let me get my let me add this here so we can go back to this. And let me see if I can't tell you why it might be hard to do that right now with Blazor. Okay, and then I'll spend 2 or 3 minutes on this because I think this is super important. Can I use PyTorch Enterprise in Azure Machine Learning, and how? Yeah, let me answer this question first. PyTorch Enterprise is just regular PyTorch with our engineers making sure that all of the things are blessed and supported. You can use anything on machine learning. We don't care what you run on our cloud. The slower, the better. Because we charge by the hour on our VMs. These are the jokes, people. So the reality is, yes, PyTorch Enterprise, yeah, you can run Azure Machine Learning. The difference with PyTorch Enterprise is if you have a support agreement with Microsoft, we will support you if there's any challenges with the blessed versions of PyTorch that we put our instrumentation / testing / whatever's around. That is a wonderful, wonderful question. Thank you. All right. So let's get into this Blazor PyTorch dealio thing. So you remember here, I'll just open this up so you can see it here. You remember that we built our AI stuff here. The output of our AI stuff are these model thingies, right? This Onyx model. If I were to open it up, let me reveal this in File Explorer. If I were to open this model up, because this is a machine learning model, this is it, right? It's just a file. And this one happens to be a smaller one because I'm trying to make one that works reasonably well and that works on the web in your browser, okay? Cool. So this is an Onyx model file. So the reality is that you start with, let's do the machine learning. By the way, I love your question. So the machine learning things happen, and it's a process, right? The output of the machine learning process is this model thing. I'm making icons up on the spot. This is so cool. Look at this. I just made a machine learning model icon. So this here is a machine learning model. So ML model. And this is like, you can literally see them. This is it. This is the file, right? This file is a metadata file that I made to help me interpret the model. There's other things, like, for example, in ML Flow, they have a whole set of things that you can use to make the machine learning model output predictable and standard. Now, the thing about this model is then you have to include this model. We have to take this model, and then we have to put it into our application. This is my application. Now, you have a couple of ways of doing that, especially if this is a web app. I'll put a W. You have two options. You can either put your model into some kind of API backend that then you HTTP request over answers from. Hello, Beldathos. Welcome back, by the way. Thank you for coming. Y'all are so nice. Thanks for coming. And then the response comes back. So in our case, it's a picture of me doing rock, paper, scissors, goes to the API and comes back. That is one option. So we'll put option number one. This by far is the easiest, because then you can embed it in whatever kind of app you want. If it's a .NET application, a .NET web app, perfect. If it's a Blazor app, perfect. It'll just work because you're basically making REST calls over to this API that has our machine learning model. And you can do that with Azure Functions, for example. You can do it with managed endpoints inside of Azure Machine Learning. There's a ton of things you can do. And we haven't even done Azure Machine Learning yet because we just haven't needed to. We haven't got to the ML ops stage of the whole process. And I'm a fan of solving problems as you get to them and not pre-solving problems that you don't have, because ain't nobody got time for that. So that's option number one, right? Option number two is considerably harder, especially if it's a web app. So I'm going to do this in web, because we're going to do the harder one ourselves, right? So here's our web app, web application. Hold on, let me fix this here. So web app. And idea number two is to take this model and put it directly into the web app, right? So that when you run the model, it's running in the browser. There's no API call. This is what we're trying to do. This is a lot different. So the question becomes, can I do it with Blazor? That's a good question. I think the answer right now is no. And the reason why is that there is no, as far as I know, client-side Blazor code that will read an Onyx file that you can then pass tensors to do the input output. Now you're probably wondering, well, is there anything like that in JavaScript? The answer is yes. Let me show you. So Onyx JS is this. This will load an Onyx model. Wow, there's a lot of good. Here you go. This thing will load an Onyx model, right? You see here? Let me control plus this so you can see. This will load an Onyx model and then run inference on it in the browser. This is what we're trying to do. Now, the question is, you could probably write a p-invoke kind of thing in Blazor that p-invokes into Onyx.js, but you'd have to do a wraparound. And so the answer is yes, but we're not going to do that because I'd have to learn Blazor, and I don't want to, if that's okay. That's the first answer your question. The second and better answer is, if you can find a way to wrap Onyx.js inside of a Blazor assembly, so to speak, then yeah, you can wrap this around and it will work. But I haven't done it yet. I'm curious to see if you can. So for you, Sharafuddin, the best link I can give you is Onyx.js, And then I don't know what Blazor mechanisms exist to use JavaScript files, right? Great question. Okay, next question, Jose Silva. Could you talk about nomenclatures? What is a deep learning framework and deep learning library? How can we classify NumPy, scikit-learn, and others? That's a really good question. So let's see. Hold on, they're saying something to me in Teams. I'm good. Not getting fired yet, but the day's not over. Okay. So here's Jenny 2. Blazor has a JS interop feature. Yeah, that's what you would do. So what you're going to see me do is you're going to see me, probably not this time, but the next time, because I'm trying to learn React real quick. Trying to learn React real quick. But yeah, so as you see me do this stuff in the next couple of months, because it's probably how long it's going to take, right, to learn React. Yeah. So Jose Silva had some good questions. Let's get that up there. So now, if you consider AI, and we'll go through this real quick, and then we'll get to work, because I want to make sure I get some stuff done on the project today. So if you think of AI as this giant bubble, I said bubble in tech speak. I don't mean that kind of bubble. But AI is a very large field, and this stuff has been going on since the 1950s, right? We had we built AI systems in the 80s and the 90s and the zeros and the tens, and right. But the thing is that when we think of AI, everyone for some reason thinks it's the same thing as machine learning. It's not, right? AI in this area is more like glorified search, right? So for example, your algorithms like A star and then Minimax, you look these up. This is an adversarial search algorithm for games. This is an intelligent path finding algorithm that uses something called a heuristic function. But this is also AI, but this is not the now AI, right? The problem happened that when you cross over here, the search space is no longer tractable, is the actual term. Like, for example, given the set of all pictures, which ones have Seth making a scissors, right? That's intractable. And so machine learning is a little bit different, where you give it the data and then out comes an algorithm in the shape of a model. And there's tons of algorithms for this, like SVM, right? We have decision trees, we have linear regression, we have logistic regression, etc. So that would be machine learning. Now, there's also a special class of algorithms called neural networks, right? But if you go over to deep learning, that's where neural networks live. It's like neural networks plus plus. Now, the depth of the neural network needed to make it deep learning really depends on the marketing team. But these are just deep neural networks. So let me reinforce this. AI here, ML here, deep learning here. Now, there are frameworks that do every one of these things. So for example, for machine learning, you can use NumPy. I have written, you can write a linear regression using the normal equations in NumPy in like one line of code. Right? Same for logistic regression. In fact, heck, I wrote let's see if I can find it. github.com/war deep learning with PyTorch. I wrote, if you look at this thing right here, let's see. Let me find one. Simple. Is this the one? Hopefully this is the one. This is all doing here we go. Yeah. This is doing what's called a perceptron algorithm using just NumPy, right? It's all, you see, here's the np.random, x and y, x.w, NP square H minus Y mean. This is all just NumPy. So simple machine learning algorithms, you can totally write with things like NumPy. And then there's other ones that are really good, like scikit-learn. Okay, so that's machine learning. Now, in deep learning land, this is a little different because you have to start managing what are called model shapes, which can be variable, as well as optimization methods, which can vary, as well as this notion of keeping track of things calculus-wise. And so there's a number of deep learning frameworks like PyTorch. This is the one that I like. There's something called TensorFlow with Keras. And there's a couple of other ones like Chainer, and I don't. These are the ones I live here. Now, for these ones, there's you can find an A-star algorithm or Minimax, etc. You can find those as well. So that's how I divide the space. Now, let me see if I answered all the questions. Could you talk about the nomenclature? What is deep learning framework? There you go. Deep learning framework are things that make deep learning happen. And deep learning library. I think they're the same, in my opinion. How can we classify NumPy? NumPy is a general linear algebra package so this is a linear algebra package / library in Python. Scikit-learn, you can see here. There you go. So that is the answer to all of your questions, I think. Beldathas follows. So if I understand correctly, the inference from the Onyx model is done exclusively on the user side. If so, are there ways to protect our model from being stolen? No. Basically, they will download it, the Onyx file, but if someone can download this and knows what to do with it, I don't know. I mean, I know what to do with it. I'm just looking at this. I wouldn't know very much about this model if I only had that. But basically, I know the input size. I know there's convolution, so there's a picture, and then I know how many classes there are. At the end, you can see there's 4 classes. You can see that because the vector that comes out is of size 4. So yes, they could take it. Are there ways to protect our model from being stolen? I guess what you could do is go, if you're very concerned about the model, the other way is to use option 1, where you put the model behind an API and some kind of backend. Okay. These are really good questions. So the question, another one, how do I use Azure PyTorch API with Blazor? There is no Azure PyTorch API. It's just PyTorch with support. It's not a new thing. Just think of it as PyTorch. Oops, Control Z. It's just PyTorch, except that we support it and load test it because we use PyTorch all over the place in Microsoft. So it's not like a new API. If you remember, Alan, I asked Alan point blank, did we fork this? He's like, no, we're just pinning versions and have support around them. So these are really good questions. By the way, if you have any other questions, let's bring them up. All right. So we did this thing. We talked about this. We did this. So now it's time, I think, to I want to figure out this thing here. So here's my folders. Here is the AI part that we ran. And I'm struggling because now I have to build something in the web that's like completely different than here. Like running this, like even this git ignore, right? Feels like I need to put it in here, right? Instead of there, right? Because notice that this has its own git ignore, and we need to delete this. So I moved that. And then when I started to do it, I was like, okay, because I haven't done this before. I Googled with Bing. I'm spiking here. I Googled with Bing, like, how do we do mono repo with multi-root workspaces? Now, if someone has a better way of doing this, let me know. But I thought we would let Damien in February tell us. This is intended for developer visual in a mono repo. Okay, there's not much to do. It should just work. There is this thing called a multi-root workspace feature in Visual Studio Code where you can have multiple root folders in one Explorer view. This tells compatible extensions to useful. The reason why I'm saying this is because like the extensions that I would use for this, let me Control Plus because I'm saying this. The extensions I would use for, here, let me go full screen. The extensions I would use for this are nothing like any extensions I would use for this, I think. Right? I mean, they're just completely different. So I'm thinking maybe, and then also we have the .github workflows that apply to everything. But for example, this launch.json has nothing to do with the website. The settings one, I don't think it does either, if I'm being honest. Like, and so I've got to find a way to have like a settings.json for the AI part and a settings.json for the web part, but I want it to be all together. And so I thought, why not explore this mono repo stuff? So that's what I'm thinking. So Jose asked one more question: how do you classify SciPy and Pandas in the following period? Pandas is a data exploration library that you use to do machine learning. So it's like before, and SciPy. Let's see. I haven't used SciPy. SciPy. Let's take a look. SciPy.org. I might have used it, but I just don't know. Oh, looks like SciPy has a bunch of libraries in there together. There you go. So it looks like SciPy.org is a Python-based ecosystem of open source software for mathematics. So there you go. So it has NumPy, IPython, SymPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and the actual SciPy library. And let's see what's in here. Yeah, it looks like it just talks about NumPy. Oh, SciPy developer guide. No, this is like how to SciPy reference guide. Okay, introduction here. Mathematical algorithms and convenience functions built on NumPy. It adds to the power of the Python session. So, for example, it looks like there's clustering algorithms. It looks like there's signal processing. I'm guessing like fast Fourier transformations and convolution. Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, it's just like helper functions for them. So, great question. All right. So, let's go back over here. A multi-root workspace is a Visual Studio Code where you can have multiple root folders. This tells compatible extensions, blah, blah. We did that. Okay. So let's do this. Let's see if we can't figure out how to do this, but all in the same folder. Let's see. So let's go reveal in File Explorer. Here we go. This is where we are. Let me take the navigation pane off, and let's make this big, or maybe not big. Oops. Okay. So let's see how we can do this. So let's go back over here. As an example, here we have a sample mono repo folder structure. And my guess is that their mono repo, look, I see some package.json-ness in here. And it feels like they're assuming everything is in JavaScript. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to try our own thing. So this was our launch move here, right? Okay. And now what we're going to do is I am going to go ahead and see how we make our, so there's like a project.code-workspace. So let's just add that. Why do I have so many folders here? Okay. So we're going to say file new. We're going to do a new text document. And if I remember right, let's rename here. And it's going to be project.code-workspace. Okay. Yes, we want to change it. Okay. So now it says you can see a .code workspace file inside the root folder of VS folder VS Code. Okay, so it looks like we need a .vs code here. So we're going to say .vs code. Boom. And we're going to put this right here. Very nice. And then it says project. Maybe we can just rename it to like Rochambeau. Rochambeau. Now, I've never done this before. So if people know how this works, just be like, hey, dude, you're doing this completely wrong. Okay. Very good. Nice. I like to bundle the workspace file into a root folder because if someone blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. Okay, so looks like here is the, let's open this with Visual Studio Code, inception-wise. Very nice. And what I'm going to do, by the way, I like putting this on the right-hand side. It just makes me feel better. So let's put this here. No, let's put it over here. And then we'll get this thing over here. Okay. So now we get to do this folders thing. So we'll do folders. Looks like it knows about that. And we do this. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the root project. So we'll just say name, and then we'll just say Rochambeau. Rochambeau. Fantastic. And the path to this is going to be up one because we're in the VS Code folder. Nice. Now we're going to do two more, and we're going to call this one Rochambeau AI. And this one is going to be ... in the AI section. And then this is going to be Rochambeau web, because this is where we're going to be working. And this would be just /web. Okay. And then it looks like there's some settings you can do. So we'll say settings, and we just don't have any. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let me explain this a little. Folders display the folders in Explorer view as root folders. Wonderful. The order of these objects defines the orders in the view. Fantastic. This key is optional. You can choose what you want. The path of the folder. Global settings for the workspace. It says I'm buffering. I'm not Vipin. I'm not buffering. That's just me normal. In real life, you'll see me talk like that. Okay, now our Explorer view should look like this. Okay. Looks like there's some exclusions. As you might have guessed, you can have multiple folders. We'll leave the exclusions out. Now what we're going to do is we'll save this. And what I'll try to do is I'll say File, Open Workspace. And then we'll just do this and see what happens. What? This is cool, right? Oh, but see, this has everything in there, which is what we don't want. Well, maybe we do. Maybe we do. And then we have the AI. Here's the AI part, and here is the web part. Because we still need to edit like stuff like this in the workflows. I don't know. I wonder if there's a way to this is a good question. I don't know. Let's go back to the things here. Now your Explorer should look like this. Let's see what we have in the settings part of the file. Here we use global settings of Visual Studio to exclude files from view. In this case, we hide the node modules folder and all packages inside of it. Okay. All right. Extensions are helpful for developers, and the Visual Studio Code Marketplace offers a lot. You can look at the multi-root ready and monorepo tags list. What is this? Let's see. Oh, well, that's more than I thought. Monorepo tagged lists. My watch is telling me to stand up. Well, I'm not going to. Oh, look at this. Look at this. There's some mono repo, VS Code mono repo. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like that's more than I'll probably have to look into this more because that looks like a lot of stuff. Okay. So looks like there's Jest for running tests everywhere. I don't need that. ESLint, mono repo works. Does the work with the other extensions worth mentioning? Create extensions.json in the root VS Code file and add the following content. Oh, so these are extensions for the entire workspace. That's nice. That way other developers see the recommendations, blah, blah. Looks like you have, the settings in general. I wonder what other settings you can have in this file here. Let's see here. Let's see what else is in there. No, I guess not. I don't know what any of these things are. Let me change this to or complete. I just change it. I just leave it Rochambeau. Okay. I don't know, friends. What do you think of this this setup? I like it. Could you use exclude to hide AI in web? That's a good question, Jay. I don't know if there's exclusions. Because look, if I put an exclusion here, I don't know. That's what I was trying to see, Jay, if there's like an exclusion here. But I couldn't see anything, right? It's just remembering things that I did last. You know what I can do? To be proper hipster. Let's see if we can put, let's see here. AI. Ooh, this one. Oh, it didn't work. I thought it would be like put the beaker in there, but it didn't. Boo. I wonder. Let's see. Car map. Car map. Character map. Let's see if we can't find like a cool, like a glyph here, because we got to go all the way. How do you find Unicode glyphs? Let's see. Oh, I see. These are settings for each of the languages. Oh, this is cool. This is way cool. Okay. I think we have done the thing. We'll change this back to Rochambeau.ai. And then what I'm going to do is let's see where it puts us in terms of terminal here. Yeah. Looks like it puts us in the right spot. So let's see, git status. And notice that I've moved some things around. So git add dot git commit minus m moved to workspace. Moved to workspace orientation. Okay. So we did the thing. I have to put my password in. ABC123. Oh, did I say that out loud? Git push origin main. And now we have this new workspace-y thing. I think this is better because then what I can do is this. Let's go over here. I don't know why I'm doing it in here. I can just do it right here. So we'll cd web here, and then we'll explorer dot. And then I'm just going to delete everything because I can. You're gone. And now it's time to do our new React app. Okay. Did this delete or what? What's going on? Is it saying it can't do it? Refresh. We got to delete the node modules folder, which is, I think last I checked, it's 2 terabytes. Just kidding. It's not 2 terabytes. And as with all things, I Googled with Bing, create Next.js app TypeScript, and everyone said to use Tailwind. So that's what I'm going to do. Because anything Ivana says to do, I do it. And Ivana told me to do Tailwind. All right. So is this still... oh, jeez. Holy cow. It's 33,000 files. What? Yeah. Okay. So now if we go into the web, there's nothing in there. ls. Nope, wrong thing. ls. So let's go now to our handy dandy, tell me how to build a React app with TypeScript. So I looked at a lot of these. This is the first one, but I went with the one that said better programming because we want to be better. So let's see what we got going on up in her. Boom. And it's got like a really cool, like this is me, right? Sorry, this is wrong. This is me, right? This is Jay McCormick taking me on the journey to writing React apps. Thank you, Jay. All right. Tell me and forget, teach me and I may remember. And look, there's even an inspirational quote. How could I not follow this particular tutorial? I'm going to become a fisherman today. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. All right. This article is going to be the first of many. By the way, it's not Jay. His name is Fabian Bosler. Thank you, Fabian. And the link is right here. Maybe I should share links that I look at. In today's article, we're going to cover the following topics. Discuss the stack. Create next. Okay, so I did some searching. And like there's React, right? And then apparently there's like things that build on top of React to make it better. And I found that like it's Next.js is the one that most people look at. So that's my research so far. And by the way, just to motivate everybody, I'm building a web application to consume the Onyx model so that as we sit there and wave at the website, it tells us what hand gesture I'm doing. I also was like, well, what CSS framework? Is it Bootstrap anymore? And everyone laughed at me because like, wow, that was 3 years ago, which in real years, in JavaScript years, is basically 40 years ago. Yeah. 40 years ago. Bootstrap. They all laughed at me. They're like, no, use Tailwind. So I looked at their videos. They were actually really quite good. And I liked it. And then those videos are good. By the way, let me tell you which videos I'm talking about. And it like in an hour. I know Christopher's like, oh, Bootstrap. Oh, Bootstrap. Those were the good old days. Bootstrap and jQuery. Oh, things were better back then. I don't know why I went like Scottish for that, Christopher. I feel like I need to apologize. I don't want to work with any JS frameworks. We have Blazor with C#. Yeah, but the thing is, like, I appreciate that, but at the same time, you're going to run into the weirdness that is there's tons of other like things that are supported with JavaScript frameworks that you're just going to have to write your own wrappers around. I don't want to do that. There's nothing wrong with Blazor. Like if Blazor makes you happy, I think that's awesome. We should do the things that make us happy, that don't hurt other people. Okay. So here's Tailwind CSS, right? And so it's like rapidly, and it's like, wow, this is beautiful. And then I went to the documentation, and I'm a video guy. Like not right now, right? I am a video guy right now. Like I'm on a video right now, but I like videos for learning too. Had a little inception moment. And so these videos were actually quite good. They were like went from 0 to like no, here 0 to there was like 8 of them. And they're not very long. I like the longest one was like maybe 15 minutes, and I watched them at double speed, and I watched all of them. Is there a PyTorch JS like TensorFlow JS? Jose Silva says no, there isn't, but there's an Onyx JS that Microsoft makes that will load up Onyx files that PyTorch exports to, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing that. Question. Okay, so I looked through all of that, and so I was pretty excited about that. JS Sandbox is getting JS Sandbox. I mean, maybe. I haven't seen any studies on that. I'd be curious to see if that is the case, because honestly, WebAssembly is just JavaScript. It's just running differently, right? Okay, by the way, I don't know if, speaking of Blazor, I was there at NDC Oslo when what's his face? His name just went out of my head. I could see him. The guy that made Blazor, Sanderson, Steve Sanderson. I was there with a couple of the ASP.NET guys. You might know them. And Sanderson was like, hey, I'm giving a talk in a half hour on this cool thing. And we all looked. And I remember looking at this thing and I was like, what the heck did you do? And that's what became Blazor. It was fantastic. It's a good story. I didn't tell it very well. Okay. So now that we've done this, we're here. So Stack. Next.js is a framework on top of React, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Yes. TypeScript. Yes. Yes. Tailwind CSS. Kaboom. So create the React. Yes. So Yarn create next app. So let's do that. Yarn create next app. And then we'll call it, I don't know, web. And then I don't know, do we go mow the lawn or something, or how long does this take? But yeah, the only compelling reason that people have told me that they want to use Blazor is because they don't want to learn something other than C#. And to me, that's just not a good reason. Right? I haven't written C# in a couple of years, so and maybe a year and a half or whatever. Okay, cool. So we did the thing. Now let's go to Explorer dot and see what. Dang it! I don't want that in there. So we'll Control X this, and then we'll Control V. Very nice, very nice. And we don't need this. So now it's all in the right place. So if I look over here, we're going to see in the web we have this. Okay, cool. So this is the next app. Cool. We're doing it. If I were to do yarn dev and then local host it, what we got? I'll go full screen. What we got? So fast. It's working. Very good. So we did a thing. There it is. Life is good. Okay, we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, we can start the bloom. You can also find the code after running. Yarn create next app on GitHub. Okay. Add Tailwind CSS. Let's do that. Yes. I'm just gonna do the thing. You know, maybe I can go like this a little bit. Why didn't it do it? This is supposed to. Okay, cool. So it looks like we added Tailwind CSS. Post CSS apparently is a really good library for making the CSS a lot smaller. Nice. Okay, so we did. Once we have done this, we also have to add a tailwind.config.json in it. So we'll do this. Copy. All right. Things are happening. Life is good. Public. There we go. Nice. JS. No, don't open that. Okay, cool. Looks like there's a git ignore and a package.json. A key. Learn more about possible in the docs. I don't want to. The quickest way to actually be able to use Tailwind formatting in our project is delete all the content and styles, global CSS, and then Tailwind base, Tailwind components, and then Tailwind utilities. Okay. Next up, we have to change our index.js to use Tailwind class names. So let's go to pages here. Index.js to use. Well, let's go to the side by side comparison. Here, let's get this big. Make this bigger. We'll make this bigger. Okay. This looks the same. This is the one that changed. So let's just view the entire file. Let's just view the whole raw file because am I right? Am I right or am I right? Am I right? Right. That's from What About Bob, by the way, if anyone's wondering. Control V. Okay, so we did the thing there. Let's go back. Let's go back to this thing. We did that. We looked at that. Wonderful. Next, we have to change the index.js. Now we have done with the basic configurations. Feel free to check out the blah, blah, blah. So let's do this. Let's see what it looks like. Now, yarn dev. Let's go back. See what happens. Everyone's like, we're doing React in the AI show? Yes. Oh, is this not working? Oh, it's working. Life is good. It's the same thing, except now we're using all these goodies from Tailwind CSS. Okay. Cool. Life is good. Now it's time to TypeScriptify this. I think it's supposed to add TypeScript, ESLint, and prettier. Okay. Control C. Boom. Next, yarn dev TypeScript. I like TypeScript because I like auto completion and type safety. Here's a Enrique, completely off topic. What monitors do you use? I have like so this thing right here is a actual it's called a prompter. And so I duplicate my main screen onto here. So I'm seeing, so when I'm looking at y'all, I'm looking at y'all. And then I just have I have another monitor to the side, and then my laptop is what's hooking this all up. Okay. In the next step, we have to create a TS config. So let's do that. TS config. Maybe I should ask Anders if he wants to come on and tell me all this stuff. Anders is legit fantastic. Just want to throw that out there. Okay. Once we restart our dev server, running down, blah blah blah. Now it's time to add the ESLint. I think this makes it so that we check all the things. Since ESLint is set up in a module structure, now we have to add a couple of rules and plugins to, of course. And anything that says prettier, I'm going to add because I want my code to not only be functional, but to be attractive. Okay, so we're adding the a couple of rules and blah blah blah. And notice that there's things happening here. It's gonna be empty, but as soon as we run it, I think it'll help itself out. Look at this goodness. Things are happening. Oh, that's ugly. But things are happening. Things are happening. Okay. Did I add prettier yet? I did not. So let's add that right now. Please find the, but feel free to use your own configurations. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to trust this guy. Raw. And then Control A, Control C. And then let's just add a new file. Not here, but here. Dot eslint.js. And then we'll format. Oh, configure. Oh, we'll use prettier. Oh. Okay, so we've done that. We did that. We've done that. We did that. And then I think we're done. Because I'm not deploying to Vercel. I mean, not today. I'm probably gonna put this on an Azure Static Web App because I know how to use that. Okay, so let's go to yarn dev. Thank you so much, Fabian. I think we're on our way. Uh-oh, something happened. Something happened. What happened? So let's try that again. Oh. You know, I hate when things go wrong, but it's how we learn. All right, so let's try that one more time. I thought I did that, but I guess not. Let's see if it... Okay. Oh, look at that. So it detected the tsconfig file, and it looks like it put stuff in there. Wonderful. Right, you can see all that happening here. So there's the panel here. Loverly. This is great. Stuff is happening. Okay. Now the other thing that I am going to do is I'm going to change these to TSX files. Hold on. No, not here. Here. I wonder if there's a way to just like only look at this. So let's rename this to .tsx. Okay. And let's rename this to .tsx. Do the this thing, and then what do we got? What do we got over here? Everything else is in here. It's good. Nothing in here. This I don't need anymore because I'm not using it. Globals, we did that. Public, we've got that. Cool. There's our index.tsx. Cool. All right. So we did it, I think. I mean, I don't know. So let's go to move panel to the bottom. And let's go. Oh, yeah. I need to restart this because it's TSX. Yarn dev. Because I just messed with the root app. Here it is. What's the name of the terminal? It looks different than the normal one. This terminal is just PowerShell. But I've added this cool little thingy that tells me what the current Conda environment is. Right? I guess I should turn that off if I'm not doing things in, if I'm not doing things in Python. So let's refresh this, and it looks like we are good to go. Good to go. Is it Windows XP or Mac OS? No. XP I haven't used in a long time. It's Windows 10. Windows 10. Windows 10. Good question. Yeah, I did an interview with Anders back in 2018. Yeah, that dude is awesome. One time I was in the lunchroom in building 25. No joke. And I'm just walking around, getting I don't know what I was getting, something unhealthy. And Anders he's like, "Hey, Seth." And I'm like, "You're Anders Halsberg." And he was like, "Yes, I am." And I was like, "Hey, I was looking through my computer science book and I found my Red Dragon book was a compiler book." He's like, "Oh, that book is so old. We don't even do things like that anymore." I was like, "Well, we should make a video." And we did. He talked about modern compiler construction because modern compilers have to work even if your code doesn't, because they got to tell you it's wrong, which is legit amazing. Okay. So now what we have to do is, now that we have this going, we've got to find a way to. So there's head, there's main, and looks like we have MT3 text 2L, get started editing, div flex, blah blah blah, max 404, mount small with full. Cool. I don't know what any of these things mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all of this because I don't need it. And then what I'm going to say is powered by us. AI show for life. And then this we don't need anymore. Boom. I can put the link to the Rochambeau page. So let me Control Z that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the GitHub page here. GitHub.com. AI advocates Rochambeau. Boom. And then we'll put this here. And now things are happening. I'll put this for life. And look at that. We're making a website. We are doing it. We are doing it. Welcome to, we'll just go over here. Welcome to Rochambeau.ai. Rochambeau.ai. Okay. We might have to style this later. I might go on Fiverr. And then what we'll want to do is, why is this justify center? We don't want that. So Control X. Let's see what it does here. Yeah, there you go. Nice. So we're doing stuff. Things are happening. Life is good. Okay, we'll put this right here. There you go. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. So what we need to do here somehow is add like a video thing. So now this is where my crappiness at not knowing React is going to bite me in the butt. React components. Okay. Tell us what you have for us. And I feel like this is the wrong way too, because I think there's a new way to do it. React function component. Oakley dokley, components and props. Components let you split the UI into independent, reusable pieces and think about each piece in isolation. I should have been the Lego Batman guy. Lego Batman. Hold on. This is Lego Batman. Thoughts? Good. All right. The simplest way to define a component is to write a JavaScript function. Let's write one. Let's be simple about it. Let's just do it. We don't. So let's just add a folder and no, not here. Components. Componentes. Move it. We want it out here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to let's write a video player. So new file. So we'll say video.tsx. Boom. And then it's like saying function welcome props. So let's just say const video const video equals function const video function boom boom boom, and then we'll just say return h1 hello there, hello video. Now, why doesn't it like this? TSX file isolate modules, consider a global script, add an import. Okay. So we'll say export const video hello world. Okay. So we did that. Const element boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, welcome boom, render boom. Let's do function components TypeScript. Can books be used to learn machine learning using Python? Daniel. Yes, Daniel, books can be used to learn almost anything. Now, the thing about it is that I am not necessarily the best book learner, and so I like videos too. And so it really just depends on what you want to do. It also depends on how you learn. Are you a top-down learner or a bottom-up learner? Great question. All right, so let's take a look at function components. I've heard not to do it this way, so I'm not going to. Cool. We don't have props, so I don't need them. Const title. We don't want that. Function versus function component. I think I did it. Okay, so let's try it. So let's go over here to our main page here. And in our index.tsx, let's close this. What I'm going to say is import video from... Oh, that's another thing. Let me go over here to... is it tsconfig? I did something the other day that made this much better. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it, because I don't like using dots all the time, to like look things up or down or whatever. So let's, no, where did I did this. Oh, shoot. Excuse me. I'm trying to find a way. Here, let me, oh, you can see me. Good. You can see me. I'm trying to find a way to make it so that I don't have to, is it here? Compiler options. Let's try this. Base URL is here. And then what we want to do is we want to have some paths that tell it where to look for things. TypeScript. And so we're going to say, let's just do this /star is the same as, okay. So now when I go like this, there you go. Components /video. And I should be able to just do like video. No. There you go. Okay. All right. What did this do? Let's go back. Oh. Can't resolve. Oh, I know why it can't resolve it. Because I just changed the global tsconfig. So let's control C that. And then let's do yarn dev. Whoop. Here we go. Element type is invalid. Expected a string for built-in components or a class function for composite, but undefined. Oh, yes. Yes. So let's go back over here. Looks like I forgot to export default video. Whoa! We're reacting, my friends. Yeah, look at that. We're reacting, everybody. We're reacting. Okay. Now, what we're probably going to need to do is we're probably going to need to have a video picker. I did this before. Let's see if I can find it. GitHub.com/ because I remember at the very beginning of the show, we did a oh no. What? How dare I? I need to fix this. Okay. Let's go back to the full screen here. And let's go to the client side. Let's go to the source. Because I did this one in Vue because okay. So it looks like we're going to need some kind of device options. Because I have multiple cameras, right? And so we're probably going to need a device selector component. So let's do that. We don't need you. Or you. Or you. Or you. Okay. Cool. So we'll say new file, device selector. .tsx. Now, I may be doing this completely wrong. So everyone, we're programmers. We'll figure it out. Device selector. Glorious. Fantastic. And then what we want to do is we want to find a way. How do we do more code? We're going to have to figure this out. So let's do React function components. Looks like there's these things called props too that you can pass in. So there's this composing components, extracting components. Oh, okay. So it looks like I have this return thing here. But I can do other things here, right? Okally dokally. So we are going to do a selector here. And we're going to say select. Now, how do we fill stuff in here? By the way, this is the code I'm looking at. If I'm looking over it, I'm looking at this because we got to pick the right camera. It looks like in Vue, this is such ugly Vue code, by the way. I'm so bad at this. Looks like this is how we get the devices. Let's stream, blah, blah, blah. Let tracks. Oh, let tracks. All right, so we're going to have to write a special. We're going to write some utilities here. So we'll go down over here and we'll say new file. No, not new file. No. New folder. New folder, and then we're going to say util for our special garbage code that we don't know what to do with. Okay, so util, and we're going to say new file, and we're going to say media.ts. Great. And so I am going to make a function. So we'll say export const get media devices equals async. Okay. Boom. And so what we're going to do is this is set device, but I want, by the way, this is the code I'm looking at. So this is how do I load all the devices? Here we go. No, this is set device. This is on load. Document on key. So this media devices, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. I guess it didn't need to be async. Oh. So I guess this returns an array of media device info. So I can say async, and this is array of media device info. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. If blah blah blah, we'll just say return else return null, and this would be promise of this. Okay, there you go. Now, for those of you looking at this and you're like, holy cow, when did JavaScript get so freaking complicated? Yeah, this is bananas. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're trying to get all of the cameras here. I honestly almost did this because I forgot it wasn't JavaScript. Okay, so wait, this is right. Array of media. I don't know why I said array. If I could just do like this, that works, right? Okay, so this gets all of the media devices. So if I go over here, not to this one, but to my components device selector, I should be able to say import get media devices from util.media. I don't like that it's uppercase. That feels wrong to me. There you go. Why don't you like this? That's why. So what we're going to say is we're going to say, I don't think this needs to be async. So let's go to media because I don't see any async. Is this? Oh, yes, it is async. Okay. So we're going to say const devices equals get media devices, and then we'll say await, and then we'll have to do async up here. There you go. Why is this still mad? I'm using you. Already included in file and differs from. Oh, geez. So let's close that and let's open it up because maybe it's met there. What? Okay, so I need to Control C this, and let's rebuild this because apparently casing matters here. Don't get mad at me. The file is in the program because imported from media from file. Okay. Well, I don't know what this is. Promise, and so this should be a list of things. And now what I can do is I should be able to do something like this. Devices.each for each. And then D. Return. I should be able to do something like this. Okay, cool. So when we add select things, I don't even remember how select items work. Oh my gosh. Yes, everyone's going to have to watch me. Select element HTML. This is so embarrassing. The H option, that's what it is. Option. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm pushing all the wrong buttons. I think I say return. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So then we'll say d dot. What do I have here? Label or device ID, and then we'll do here d dot label. Okay, what? Why are we mad? Why are we mad? Why are we mad? Oh, we don't need all this extra. Take all that out. Take it all out. Just take it all out. We're doing it live. I'll go like this, like so, and then this will. Okay, so we finished this for each. Boom, and then we boom, boom. Okay, so why doesn't it like this? Type void. Oh. Is it for each? Or is it map? There it is. Map. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to close these things. Does media device contain the type for each device type? May need to contain a filter for the camera. Yes. In fact, I did it here. It's kind. Right? I don't need these. I don't need these things here. And the cool thing is maybe I can do this too. So that I can return a promise. That way the for each doesn't crash on a null. All right. Okay, device selector. So this will map and it should output each of these options. So let's go over to I still don't know why this is. I'm going to change this completely to helpers. No, yes. Oops. And then we'll go over here to device selector. Very good. Okay. Good question, Jay. All right, so everything's still running. Let's put the device selector. Let's put the device selector into the page. 12:36. I gotta keep the time because otherwise I'll get too excited about this. So we have the video, but then we also need the device selector. And I'll need to import it here. Import device selector from, okay. Okay. Oh, shoot. Looks like I can't do that. I wonder. This is the thing about async. We don't want to do async because then I have to wait. How do I block this so that it just happens? So let me go to the helpers and let's see if enumerate devices is there a sync way. Enumerate devices. Await. How do you do that? Question from Jose. Why did you choose PyTorch instead of TensorFlow? I like PyTorch better because it feels more like a developer framework built from the ground up. TensorFlow feels like it started with data science and then they've been adding stuff incrementally. But again, it might just be a taste thing. Yeah, it does, but it also uses PyTorch in the form of Onyx. Okay, so how do this is a filter, predicate, media devices. What if I don't want to await it? And what if I don't do a promise? And what if I don't do async? Items. How do you do wait? Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll do this then. Let's just do this. Items dot then, and then we'll just return, and then we'll do items dot filter. Boom. Okay. Hopefully this works. Filter does not exist on typed promise. Let's see. Then I'll just say M and then M. And we don't need this. Okay. This should work. There's no more async anywhere. We don't need this. But what is this returning though? This is a crazy, like this is an interesting situation. Okay. Turn async into sync TypeScript. Alrighty, here we go. Async functions. Async functions. How do we be responsible? Return. Jeez. Maybe it's promise.all, but then this is such a bummer. Let me see. Let me go back, and maybe there's a way to have. And then we. Okay. So this is back to the way it was before, and then we'll do async call in React TypeScript function component. Here we go. How to type an example async component React async. Here we go. Use fetch. More flexibility. Use async. Await fetch. Person ID const. Use async. Interesting. The most common use for React async is data fetching. A single line of creating an async component with use fetch. The easiest way to create async is use fetch hook. Const data error. If data, return null. More flexibility with use async. For most data fetching needs, use fetch is sufficient. So use fetch. Do I do anything about? Do I need to install anything here for this? React async different than that tries to resolve data as close as possible to where to be used while using boom, boom, boom. Okay, this feels like a lot. How to use async function React hook use effect. This feels really old. Okay. TypeScript with React functional components. We did that. Import. We don't need that. Use hooks. React hooks. Use effect. Is that? Use refs entry hook because it can give it the parent element information about the child element. We might need to use a hook. Whew. This is good stuff. I mean, that's the thing about React. That my lamentation about React is that there's a lot of computer science here going on. So let's see. Device that can be used in the JSX. Its return type is not valid JSX type. Promise element is React element any. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do I make a How do we do this? Because I want to be able to map this. I wonder. I don't know. Let's try this. Then, because this is going to get a null. It's going to get a promise. So let's do this here. Let's do this. Let's do it then. And then M yields I wonder if this works. Does this work? Will this work? We don't know. Let's try it. Go back to our page here. No, this isn't it. Where's our page? Where are you, page? Localhosty 3000. Yes. This is a problem. I wonder how we use how we do this. Because what's happening is I have to make it wait for the response value because it's async, right? But how do I do that? How do I do that? Because this is a promise. Maybe here. Let's do this. Then we'll say D goes to D.map. And then I'll just add another one in there. Okay. Let's see if this works. I don't like it, but what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Localhost 3000. Localhost host 3000. What? It didn't like it. Okay, let me control C this. Why? What? Tell me what is going on. Yes. All right. By the way, you can't see my face. Let's go over here to Yarn Dev and see what happens here. I wonder why it doesn't like this. Oh, here, sir. Yeah, I couldn't find something right away. I wonder why, if there's a way. This is so dumb. I hate when something that's so easy is so hard. It's always that case. It's always the case. Navigator, media devices. Let's see if there's another call that's not async. Navigator dot media devices dot. Yeah, these are all promises. I hate promises. Promises. All right. Let's see how we can do that. Calling async function from React function component. Componente. Okay. Use effect. Oh. See, this is me not understanding React, and I have like 5 minutes left, so I got to make sure that let's get this to work. Use effect. Use effect. Use effect and use state. Okay, let's go to React and then let's talk about use effect. React, use effect. Here we go. Use effect. Here we go. Why? This is not the React website. I hate it when it does this. Not React Express. React. Here we go. Use the effect hook. Hooks are a new addition to React 16.8 that lets you state another React feature without writing a class. The effect hook lets you perform side effects in function components. Okay. Let's just do it. I mean, shoot. We don't know anything, right? We can figure it out. We're smart people. We are good at stuff. We can do this. So it looks like we are going to, we have two things we want to do. So the state we want to look at is the media devices. So I'm going to say, let's see if I can type things. So use state TypeScript. So I might be able to type things. Use state with TypeScript, building spas. How do we do that? Use state, set up. What the heck is this? Oh, yes. Okay. So, okay. I think we're gonna do this. We have 3 minutes. A couple of minutes. So let's go back to this thingy. No, this thingy right here. And what we're gonna say is let's go like this so that we can see everything. We'll take this out of the way. We're gonna say const devices and set devices, right? And we're gonna say this is gonna be use state. And we are going to say we're going to use this thing right here, media device info array, and we're going to start with an empty array. Okay. Cool. All right. So use effect. Let's take a look at the effect hook. So we've got some sets. So we don't need this anymore. We can take all of this devices dot map and then okay. So this all works again, right? Because devices is the actual media state info. Okay. Cool. Okay, the effect hook lets you perform side effects in function components. Cool. The snippet is based on a counterexample on our previous page, but we added a new feature to it. We set the document title to a custom message, including the number of clicks. Data fetching. Oh, okay. So what we'll do then is we'll do this. We'll say get media devices, and then we'll say then, right? And then what we'll do is the devices will be here. And what we'll do is we'll say set devices to M. Right? Yes. And to keep me honest, I'm going to start playing the closing because we're almost out of time, but we're going to get this to work. By the time this music's over, the show is going to be mostly over. All right. Here we go. Oh, things are compiling successfully. Did we do it? We don't know. Localhost 3000. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so actual real errors are happening. Okay. Here we go. So things are happening. Unhandled promise rejection. This is by throwing inside of an async function without try client, rejecting the promise when there's not a catch. Determine no. I think we're getting somewhere, though. right? All right, let's go back to the use effects here. I think we're getting somewhere. Use effect. We don't need this here. Boom. Oh, no. Okay. Use effect. This is just dummy code. Okay. Cool. So we need to look at use effects. I want to get this. Effects without cleanup. Okay. So similar component amount. Okay, use effect, document.title. What does use effect do? By using it, you tell React component needs to do something after render. React will remember the function you passed and later call it later after performing DOM updates. Okay. We're gonna get this. Effects with cleanup. Using the hook function handle status change. Subscribe to boom. So this sets it here. A recap. Use effect lets you express different kinds of side effects, which is what we want. We don't need to do some cleanup. Why effects run on each update, which is great. It feels like there's an error somewhere. Right, because this is what we're supposed to do. Because we're not supposed to change this because it's React. We're going to figure it out and be like, what the heck? It was so easy. Here we go. We're going to do it. Okay, use effect is this. Return unsubscribe. Boom. It doesn't suffer from this bug. Blah, blah, blah. Optimizing by skipping effects. We don't want that. Set is online, so we did that. So what should happen is, let's do this. Let's try being even more explicit here. Let's do this. Let's take this code and let's put it into here. In the use effect. I wonder if it's just a place that it lives that it's upset about it. Now I'm just grasping here. Oh, I know why, because I'm a goober. I gotta use the effect. I did not use the effect. Okay, we're gonna do this. Use effect. Okay. Use effect. Use effect. Okay. Just gonna do it. Here we go. Okay, compiled successfully. We're gonna do it. Oh no! Oh, wait, no. Oh. Well, my friends, I did not make it, but we will figure it out next time. Thank you so much for watching the AI show, and we'll see you next time. Y'all are the best. We'll see you next time. Take care.